Hey guys, welcome to BlockHeads Garage. Today we're going to show you a little bit of exhaust. We do the wiring that y'all been asking about, and if you've been watching, you'll notice the absence of the beard, so you may want to stick around to the end to see what that's all about. Alright guys, so this is what we ended up for a lower radiator hose. Basically we just have a 90, and we ended up putting a union in here. I decided to go ahead and get one of these off of eBay. They're like 20 bucks to put our sensor for our altimeter gauge in. I don't quite like the just cold hot, so I wanted an actual gauge that tells me the temperature. And then this hose here, we're going to pop this in, and hopefully this will be the last time we have to do anything with this radiator. It just goes in like that. Our sensor will be down in here. We're going to tuck all our wires back in around here and run them behind the bumper. So we laid out all our wiring, and we got everything started to be plugged in. We are going to clean up this rat's nest before we get too further along, but basically we got everything plugged in, and we're going to start getting our hole cut for everything to go through the firewall, and let's see if we can get her to fire. Alright, so we got everything plugged in onto our engine, and our next predicament we got to work out is we have to get all this through that tiny little hole there. So we're going to take and cut. We measured up this. It's like 3 3/8 by 2.5. Gives us just enough room to cut a square hole here and shove everything through and use our factory E34 grommets. So I'll show you that once it's all cut out. We got the hole cut. Suggestion: do this before you put your motor in. It was a bit tight. Anyways, we got the hole cut. We're going to take and shove all this through this. This plate here, if you have this in your wiring harness, the relays all snap off of it, and then you can reassemble it once you get it inside. We have one of these extra ones because we're using an automatic wiring harness, but we're just going to not deal with that. We're just going to tie it up out of the way. So we'll get the grommet stuck through there, and the next thing we're going to step onto is getting our adapter harness put together, and we'll show you what you need to know about that. Okay, so we have our two halves of our wiring harness here. We're going to be making our adapter to go from the chassis side of the E30 to the M60 engine. This is the engine side off of our M20. We've got it all cleaned out and somewhat figured out what's what. Here's our engine side for the M60. There's a few more wires here that we're not going to end up using. But basically what I've got here is I've got RTSauto.coms. They've got a really good wiring diagram, and also I've got my wiring diagram off of Frank M's write-up, and the one that Garagistic has on theirs, and I'm just kind of cross-reference all three of them together. We did actually find there was one wire that was different, that was not colored the proper way on our M20 side of things. So just be clear on that. The other thing is there's a difference on your M20 side, your car side of the wiring harness, from 89, I believe, up is a little bit different than your 88 and below cars. So just be sure that you check that out before you hook the wrong wire into something and fry your computer. So we're going to start getting this wired up. Alright guys, we're underneath the car. We're starting to work on the exhaust. We're just going to get it far enough back to get our O2s in to do a test fire. I just wanted to show you what you guys got to work with. This is your driver's side exhaust outlet. Pull it back a little bit. You can see what kind of mess you got to work around. And this is your passenger side exhaust outlet. So we're going to have to get a little bit creative, but we'll figure it out as always. Alright, so we showed you what we had to work with, where our exhaust has got to run. So we made this downpipe. This is for our passenger side. It's going to set in something like that. I'll show you this one and the driver's side whenever we get it done installed, so you kind of have an idea of how the exhaust is going to be routed. Alright, we got that tightened down. Just want to show you it installed now. There's our manifold. And she runs back here, and we have the O2 back here by the transmission mount. We are going to pull this back out and wrap it in the heat wrap. and weld on the rest of our exhaust, but just for now, to get her fired up, this is what we got. I think they're done. Guys, hope you had a safe and happy July 4th. We're gonna be back to work and make our own booms. Alright, driver's side done. Let's go get her installed. We're getting close. Yeah, here we go. 3. We ready?
Yes.
Take 3. Whoa, gas all over the floor.
We are good.
Try number 4.
Yep. Whoa! Stop! Kill it!
Hours on.
Nothing is leaking. Yeah! We're still good.
So as promised, it runs. Now I can get rid of this since it's the middle of summer.
That's skinnier.
It looks skinnier. Alright guys, it may not look like much, but we've been here for about 18 hours. It is almost 3 in the morning. And, well, you heard it, we got it running. You saw that blowout? We actually blew the Mishimoto cooler out. I'm thinking we had the line switched, so it must have a check valve in the filter, backed up pressure and just blew out the cooler. So pay attention to that whenever you're doing your swap. Next time we're gonna clean up all this wiring, tidy everything up. We've got the drive shaft put in, we've got the rear diff to put in. We'll show you the rest of the exhaust routing. Other than that, it's pretty much just a little piddly stuff we got to clean up and zip tie away. And just for giggles, why don't we hear it again?